Have you ever wanted to connect with a friend, classmate, or family member who has autism, but weren't quite sure how? It can sometimes feel like there's an invisible barrier, but I promise you, building a wonderful connection is easier than you think. Today, we're going to explore 7 simple, yet powerful, ways to approach and build friendships with people on the autism spectrum. These aren't just tips. They're bridges to understanding and creating meaningful relationships. So, stick around, because you might discover you have more in common than you ever imagined. First and foremost, the foundation of any good relationship is patience and kindness. This is especially true when you're getting to know someone with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. For them, the unwritten rules of social interaction and friendship might not be intuitive. What seems obvious to us, like how to start a conversation or how to join a group, can be genuinely confusing. So, if they seem a bit reserved, or maybe don't respond in the way you expect, try not to take it personally. Remember, they're likely learning and processing the social world in their own unique way. A little extra patience and a consistently kind attitude can make all the difference. It signals that you're a safe person to be around, someone who is willing to meet them where they are. Think of it as offering a gentle, helping hand instead of expecting them to jump across a gap. Your kindness creates a space where a real friendship can begin to blossom. Our second tip is a game changer. Be incredibly clear and direct in your communication. People with ASD often have a very literal interpretation of language. That means sarcasm, irony, and playful jokes might fly right over their heads, or even worse, be taken as fact. If you say, "Wow, I could eat a horse," they might be genuinely confused or even concerned about your intentions. So, instead of using figures of speech, just say what you mean. Instead of, "Are you ever going to finish that?" Try a gentler, more direct, "I'd like to use the computer when you're done. Could you let me know when that might be?" This isn't about dumbing down your language. It's about making it more accessible and less confusing. Clear communication removes the guesswork and anxiety for your friend, allowing them to engage with you more comfortably. When they don't have to spend all their energy trying to decode hidden meanings, they can focus on what you're actually saying and enjoy the conversation with you. It's a simple switch that can prevent a lot of misunderstandings. Next up, let's talk about guiding the conversation. Have you ever been talking to someone with autism and noticed they have a deep, passionate interest in a specific topic? Maybe it's trains, a particular video game, or ancient history. They might talk about it with incredible detail and enthusiasm, which is amazing. However, the natural back-and-forth rhythm of a typical conversation can be a challenge. They might not always pick up on the cues that it's time to switch topics. This is where you can gently help. You don't want to shut them down, because sharing their passion is how they connect. Instead, you can be a helpful guide. After listening for a while, you could say something like, "That's so interesting. It reminds me of something else I wanted to ask you about." And then steer the conversation to a new subject. Or you could try, "I love hearing about your game. Can we talk about the movie we both watched last night for a bit too?" By acknowledging their interest before changing the subject, you show respect for their passion, while also helping to keep the conversation balanced and engaging for both of you. Our fourth point is about being a social interpreter. Many of the social cues that neurotypical people take for granted, like body language, facial expressions, and personal space, might not come naturally to someone with ASD. They might not realize that when you're looking at your watch and slowly backing away, you're signaling that you need to leave. They might stand a little closer to you than is typical, not to be invasive, but simply because they haven't learned the invisible bubble of personal space that most people prefer. You can be an enormous help by kindly and clearly explaining these things. For example, you could say, "Hey, I feel more comfortable talking when we have about an arm's length of space between us. It's not rude. It's helpful information." If you're packing up your bag at the end of class, you might need to say explicitly, "I'm packing up now because I have to go to my next class." By translating these unspoken rules, You're not just helping them in that moment. You're giving them a tool they can use in future social situations. You become a trusted ally who helps them navigate a world that can often feel confusing. Let's move on to tip number 5. Pay attention to the environment. Imagine trying to have a heart-to-heart conversation in the middle of a loud concert with flashing strobe lights. It would be pretty tough, right? For many people with autism, sensory sensitivities can make everyday environments feel just like that. Places with loud, sudden noises, bright or flickering lights, strong smells, or big crowds can be overwhelming and even physically uncomfortable. This sensory overload can make it impossible for them to focus on a conversation or just relax and enjoy your company. So, be mindful of where you choose to hang out. Instead of suggesting the chaotic school cafeteria or a busy mall, why not ask them what they prefer? You could say, "I was thinking we could hang out after school. Would you rather go to the park, which is pretty quiet, or would somewhere else be better for you?" Choosing a calmer, less busy setting can make a world of difference. It shows that you're considerate of their needs and allows them to be their best, most comfortable self around you. This brings us to our 6th and perhaps most important point: acceptance. It's crucial to understand that many people with autism do not see themselves as broken or as having a disorder that needs to be fixed. They are proud of who they are. Their autistic brain is simply wired differently, giving them a unique perspective on the world, incredible focus on their interests, and a refreshingly honest approach to life. They don't want your pity. They want your acceptance. They want to be liked for who they are, differences and all. Just like you want to be accepted for your unique quirks and personality, so do they. So, resist any urge to try and change them or make them more normal. Embrace their unique way of seeing the world. Celebrate their deep knowledge of their favorite subjects. Appreciate their honesty. When you accept someone completely, you give them the greatest gift of all, the freedom to be themselves. And that is the soil in which the truest friendships grow. Finally, number 7, be supportive. Because people with autism can communicate and behave differently, they are unfortunately sometimes the target of teasing, exclusion, or even bullying. They might be misunderstood or unfairly judged by others who are not willing to take the time to understand. This is where you can be a true hero. If you see your friend being left out, invite them to join you. If you hear someone making fun of them, stand up for them. You could say something simple like, "Hey, that's not cool. They're my friend." Your voice has power. If the situation is more serious, don't hesitate to tell a trusted adult, like a teacher, a counselor, or a parent. Being an ally means creating a circle of safety around your friend. It sends a powerful message not only to your friend that they are valued and not alone, but also to others that bullying and exclusion are not acceptable. This kind of support can build a bond of trust and loyalty that lasts a lifetime. So there you have it. 7 ways to build a bridge of understanding and friendship with someone who has autism. It all comes down to patience, clear communication, a willingness to guide and help, and most of all, acceptance and support. By taking the time to get to know the person behind the label, you'll likely find an incredibly loyal, honest, and fascinating friend. You might just find that your worlds have more in common than you ever thought possible. Thank you so much for watching and for opening your heart to understanding others. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. We'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. See you next time.